this week's toy review, I'm going to be taking a look at a toy that you've probably never even heard of before. But after this review, it'll be one that you'll never forget.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, man of action. Chuck Norris stars in Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris, he's got nerves of steel and strength to match.
Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at a toy line inspired by Chuck Norris, the All-American Karate Champion and star of the show Walker, Texas Ranger that aired in the 90s.
Location Tibet. Assignment recover stolen microchip. Protecting it was Super Ninja. Hi-ya! First, Chemo stood up to him. Hi-ya! And was downed. Then Reed Smith flew in. Hi-ya! And was grounded. But now it's his karate against mine. Hi-ya!
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris, Super Ninja, Reed Smith, Chemo, and other figures sold separately. New from Kenner.
And now, if you haven't guessed it already, it's Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, a very little known series that was aired in 1986 and was only on the air for 5 episodes. After the 5th episode, it was canceled due to low ratings, and with good reason. Almost everything associated with it is pretty terrible. So we'll take a look at some of the toys that we've got here, and also I have the 3-part comic series of the Karate Commandos series. Now, I do have to say that I wanted to give this toy line a chance. It's something that always kind of looked cool, and you know, it really has a good look to it, but that's all that's really there. There's really no substance to it. Now, this is the original Chuck Norris, as you can see there on his chest logo with the CN, you know, doing a little bit of shameless self-promotion there. He's got his ridiculous karate ninja vest on and knee pads and stuff. And right off the bat, you can see now each figure would have a little spring-loaded type action movement, as so many toys from this era did. But the problem with this is that the legs are bow-legged, so Chuck can't even stand upright. So right off the bat, that's just a ridiculous major flaw for your toy. And what he is supposed to do is do a backwards kind of roundhouse kick and kick his enemies, you know, to the ground and defeat them like that, which is kind of neat, but you know, it's not very good if he can't stand. Now, this is one of another variation of Chuck Norris, and this is his like karate chop in action figure, and this one's actually halfway decent. I like the coloring and the pattern. This isn't his actual accessory that he would have came with, but I don't have all of them for all of the figures. They're pretty hard to come by. And he squeezes his legs together and his arms move back and forth like that, so he can chop up little twigs or matches or knock over enemies and stuff like that. And it actually works pretty well. Alright, and then we have one of Chuck Norris's teammates here. And this is one of his apprentices, and I gave him Panthros nunchucks because I kind of thought he would look cool like that. You can see he has the CN logo on the back of his shirt and in front of his vest. And now his action feature is really weird because you kind of have to hold down one of his feet, and then he kicks with the other leg when you squeeze his arms. He's actually supposed to thrust both of his feet forward with blades on his feet, but that doesn't look right, and it doesn't work well. It just looks stupid. Now, this is one of the Super Ninjas here, and he has a bow staff with him as his accessory, even though it's not his accessory. It's one of my other figures' accessories. I like the coloration and the pattern on his shirt, but his action feature is also crazy. You have to hold him down, turn his whole body, and he does some weird kick, like he's doing you know, like the Charlton or something, like the Shuffle. Looks really bizarre. And here we have another one of Chuck Norris's companions. And he's supposed to actually have a samurai sword, and again, you can always identify the good guys with a little CN on the back. But he actually has one of the foot gauntlets that I thought went well with his hand, and when you squeeze his leg, he slaps the blade around, and it's kind of like, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. So pretty neat. And like I said before, there was also comics in the series that were made. I do not recommend reading them. They are horrible. So here we have Chuck Norris in his Karate Corvette, which, yeah, that's the name of the thing. As you can see there, it actually says Karate on the license plate, you know. I guess that way you would know not to mess with the guy driving the Corvette with a giant razor blade sticking out of the back, which I don't know how safe that is when you're driving down the road. It's actually pretty neatly designed. This is one of the better toys. These are some of the razor blade discs that are located in the back, and you pull out the spoiler here, and that pulls all the way out like that, and you can take these little discs and you can load them into the back, and you give the spoiler a thwack and they'll go flying off and can knock over enemies and stuff like that, or little forts that you built. So pretty neat. I think the car is actually one of the better designed pieces for the whole set, which there aren't many toys of. So that makes everything in the series, oddly enough, worth a lot of money. Even that costume you saw me wearing earlier. But, you know, again, I don't really recommend this series very much. So now the Karate Corvette is a really neat special feature. If you have your super ninjas are coming up to attack Chuck, you can just take and hit the T-top roll bar and the side blades come out and knock them over. And if you hit the windshield, a blade comes out of the front. And so it's a pretty menacing, mean-looking Corvette. I really like the look of it. Now, unfortunately, this is something that I usually wouldn't say, but with this toy line, stay as far, far away from this as you can possibly get. This was nothing but a cheap, arrogant cash-in done by Chuck Norris and his marketing team to cash in on his, you know, popularity competing worldwide in karate tournaments. And they figured, oh, hey, let's make a cartoon and a really terrible toy line out of it. And thankfully, people saw that it was horrible and couldn't relate to it, and that it was arrogant. The fact that, you know, he named his whole team after himself and his car and his outfits, and, you know, it's just about him oddly fighting people with karate. And the toys really don't work well. The action features don't work well. The comic books are absolutely abysmal. The cartoon is terrible. Just stay as far away from this as you can see it, and I recommend if you see any of these toys out and about, light them on fire, throw them in the trash, destroy them. No child or adult should ever have to be forced to play with this horrible, horrible toy line that is just best left forgotten about. Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you do the Facebook or Twitter thing, follow me at #KingaRetro. See you next time.